Let me go get myself a beer. I'll be right back. I'm here. I'm here. Can you guys hear me? Can everyone see me out there? Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing. How does the audio sound? Talk to me, people. What do we got? Shout out to everybody for coming to the stream early. What's going on, Kane? What's going on, Ethicals? What's up, Ed? No self. Yo, what's happening? I got beer this time. So yeah, I'm feeling good. This week, we are going to be debugging, boys and girls. I can tell you that much. Oh man, super excited to be doing this stream with you today. And let me plug in my headset before they die on me. Today, we are going to talk about something that is very popular. And as you can see, I had to go and make this very clickbaity. We're going to do advanced password hacking. You're probably thinking to yourself, like, what the hell is advanced password hacking? Like, what's advanced about password? Like, how are you going to get password hacking? Like, what is that? Well, we're going to dig into potentially a number of tools, all live. You know how I like to do this. You know, I like to go live. I like you to see me explore. But I also went ahead and tried to do some prep to make sure that I didn't waste anyone's time. And I can tell you, the configuration and setup is going to be a little bit daunting for some of this stuff. But once we get it figured out and configured, I believe the reward will be great. So, yeah. If you are here, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. I hate to sound like the typical YouTuber, but it does make the difference in the algorithm. And we all know that algorithm is fighting for us and against us all at the same time. So kind of to jump off, I want to discuss a tool that I actually found from one of your favorite hackers. So when you're in corporate, sometimes people reach out to you from your corporate email. Lord knows how they get it, and they go, "Hey, I have a webinar of such and such and such. Would you love to attend it?" I'm like, you know, when you're working in big corporate, why not? And tell your boss, "Hey, I'm going to a webinar." Cool. Basically, you get a half day off. So went to a webinar with none other than Kevin Mitnick, and Kevin Mitnick actually talked about a tool. Alpha Cyber, what's going on, broski? Kevin Mitnick actually talked about a tool that he uses that made me super excited. And this was 2 or so years ago. So, hey, you know, this is a little bit dated. But I never got around to playing with it. And I hadn't had any engagements that required this in the last 2 years, unfortunately. But recently, I've been working on some training. And it is required that I find some tools that are open source and are potent. So I said, for this week's Tools Tuesday, I know what I want to do. I want to do Evilginx2. And here, I'm pull this up for you. And Evilginx2 is basically a standalone man-in-the-middle framework. Long story short, this allows us to be able to fish for login creds, session cookies. Basically, when you get that session cookie, you can bypass two-factor authentication, right? So This is what everybody wants, the cookie stealer, as one of my friends likes to call it. And it's still under development by people who are very, instrumental. So this is still live and working. And what I like about it is, as you can see, it was extremely popular 2 years ago when it probably launched. Evilginx2 is basically here, and we could probably just pop up a video. Just give me 1 second. Let's see if oh, there you go. That's always fun. We like to watch videos here, but it didn't work. Nevertheless, you can get this installed via binary package, which we'll open this in a new tab. Fisherman's Dream. So yeah, you can get, they're on 2.3.0 at this time. This is in 2019, so a year and a half ago. So there's been 60 commits to master since this release. So there's probably going to be some sub releases inside of here. If you want to dig into the actual blog of the person who maintains this package, you can, and it'll give you a deep dive as to what is and is not here. But for our purposes, we kind of just want to jump right into installation and dig in. So what I did like about this is the fact that you can install it with Docker. So we're going to try that method, of course, because we want to be able to have something that's extremely easy for us to pick up and go everywhere we go. But the funny thing is it looks like it's written in Go, so that makes it really easy to pick up and go and take it wherever we want. And then you can also install from precompiled binary packages. They have some usage things that they kind of want you to wrap your mind around. And really, I just want to jump right into this. So from their docs, they're getting started. They assume that we've already registered a domain and we've set up the name servers, both NS1 and NS2, and your domain's provider's admin panel to point to your server's IP, right? So I have a domain by the name of Red Team Apparel. And what I can do is go to that, zoom in so you can see this is just the default Ubuntu page here. And it's just a random box, just run Apache. And I got Red Team Apparel here, right? So I got my domain. I went ahead and saved you the boredom of that. And now we need to make sure that these NS1 and NS2 dot domains actually do go there. Right, so we'll add in that. Looks like it does. Okay. So I'm going to presume that NS2 does as well. Looks like it does. Okay, cool. So it's pointing at my IP. And then basically we're going to jump, well, we're probably jumping too far ahead, but at least we know that we have the domain name and DNS stuff set up properly. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and open up a terminal, which I'm going to try and make as big as I possibly can here. How do I do this? And there it is. Thank you, Windows. Almighty Windows gods. Uh-oh. All right. So now everybody can see this, and it's super exciting. So we're going to make a directory, call it Evilginx2 live, right? We're going to work out of this. We're going to go into Evilginx live, and then we're going to work from here. So we could use the precompiled binary, but we happen to know that the precompiled binary is already what 15 or so, excuse me, 60 or so commits behind. So we don't really want to do that. We want some of the good juicy new stuff, right? So instead, what we can do is we can install from source, or we could install with Docker. And I'm going to presume that their Docker is probably updated, but I want to see what it's like to install from source, right? So for me, I already have Go, and the way that I installed Go was actually apt install Golang Go. So the reason why I did this is because it's already installed at the newest version. Is because it's just really easy to manage, right? I don't really want to be in the habit of managing packages outside of my package manager. I would like to be able to say, update all of my stuff and know that Git got updated and Go got updated and Node got updated and not have to worry about, well, where did I install the one thing and the one thing, then one thing again? And if I could install Evilginx in apt, I would do that as well. I'm pretty sure I can somewhere from some sketchy PPA, but if it's officially supported, it makes life a little bit easier. So digging into exporting my Go path, which I believe I already have done. So I'll print my environment variables here, and then we will look for, oh, maybe it's not in here. So we will add that, and that's export Go path home Go. I'm pretty sure I already have that, but where's it at? $home /go. We're just going to set this up in my home directory. And then the other one was export path equals path user. So I actually, and this is a good aside right now, I did not install Go into my local folder actually. So I need to do which Go, because we installed it using the package manager. So what we need to do is export path usr/bin/go/bin, and then set that to our Go path /bin, enter, and then you'd load it with source, so urce profiles. All right, cool. So they say profiles. It's really your profile, but nevertheless, I already have Git and Make installed, and now they want me to do a Go Git, which is a function of Golang, right? That allows you to be able to actually go and get packages and let Go actually manage your dependencies. So we're going to do a Go Git to this GitHub, and it uses GitHub, of course. K Gretzky Evilginx2, right? And we'll go ahead and do that. And boom. So I went and got that. And then it's telling us to cd into the Go path /src/github .com /kgetz X2, I believe, is all we need. Yep. And so now we're in the directory where Evilginx actually went and got pulled down from, right? So then we look in here and we can actually see the all of the code that makes up this actual tool. So now you can basically either run it from the directory or do an install to do a make install globally, which is what I'm going to opt into. Boom. So now it's installed globally. So now we should be able to go back into that Evilginx2 live directory. There's nothing inside of it, but still we can do sudo Evilginx and Evilginx runs, even though it's way too large for the screen. We're gonna try to exit out and do it again. It's still way too large. Anyway, so now you can start to see all of these different fishlets, as they call them, the authors that actually make these quote unquote fishlets, the status of them, if they're available and if they're active or not. And as you can see, I've already been in here tinkering around with both the Instagram and Twitter fishlets. So now that we're finished with the install, we kind of dig into what usage is. And again, we've already checked to make sure our name servers work. We've already made sure that our domain is set, but for the hell of it, you run config, you can see that we have Red Team Apparel and the IP address that Red Team Apparel is running at. And if we reload here, we see Red Team Apparel. And yeah, there you go. And the actual IP address, right? So now it looks like you can just set up a fishlet that you want to use. So let's see here. Fishlets, host name, LinkedIn, my.linkedin.com.redteamapparel.com, right? And now it's doing something. It's set the host name to my.linkedin.com.redteamapparel.com, which is not terrible. And then it's disabled the fishlet. Okay, cool. So now it's telling me to enable the fishlet. And now it is trying to set up some certificates for the fishlet. And it looks like we get a 403. Now, I was running into this earlier and haven't 100% got around this yet, but I presume I'm not too far away from it, because we know that if we go here, that it'll exist, but it doesn't. There's a 404. So I have to figure out why or where the root is of this. So we know that www.mylinkedin.com is actually routing, which doesn't mean much. But based on the settings that we've already set up and the configuration in which it's telling us to do, we're not getting a whole lot of luck here. So they have a debug mode, and they also have a developer mode, which I think I'm probably just going to try and put it in developer mode. And that'll probably skip over the fact of that it doesn't have what it wants effectively. So let's see. Was the fishlets enable? Yep. Let's see. So now developer mode is on, and it'll use self-signed certs. So maybe we'll get around the fact that we can't verify. Oh, so maybe that worked. Maybe that's it. Developer mode is on. It enabled the fishlet. Okay. So now we should be able to do something like create a lure. So a lure is, I guess, like in fishing in real life, you go and you make a lure. And shout out to Justin. His family actually makes lures. So cheers. So we're going to make a lure for LinkedIn. Looks like we created a lure, and then okay. All right. So apparently, it's running some kind of fishlet right here, and you guys are all here with me, so you can see it just like I can see it. No save sessions found, and that seems to be the end of it. So now we're gonna go over here, and of course it's a self-signed cert, so you got to accept the risk. But here I come along, and oh look, here comes a person, a new visitor, right? And I'm Bob at builders.com, and I just want to log into LinkedIn, and it doesn't seem like my password worked, and I know I only have like 5 passwords, right? So like I'm just gonna try all the passwords that I possibly can, and all right, and I'm trying here and it doesn't work, so I'm requesting a new password, and now it's still asking me for my email or phone number, which is nice. And then it's gonna try and do a quick security check, but apparently I don't have a site key, so then it would do something. I don't know exactly what it would do, but what I can tell you is that these are the passwords that were captured, and you know, basically you see this looks like the LinkedIn login page, right? And it looks like I could even sign up here, maybe. No, that did not give me more information. I was hoping that it did. Some scary part of me was like, ooh, I hope it does more. Okay, so now we have fishlets enabled, and we have Bob the Builders. Yes, we can, you know, username and password and their IP address and the time in which they did that. Let's try and do Instagram, because Instagram is super scary stuff. And so we go back to the docs here, and it looks like the next thing that we should do is create a lure. So LURES, create Instagram, right? And it's created with the lure ID 1, right? And then we'll go lures, edit, redirect, URL 1 HTTPS I'm half drunk. That's the reason why I'm typing so slow. I've been drinking beer while I've been figuring this out. Get URL 1 and boom. Now we have Instagram.com lure that maybe has an ellipsis you know, in it, or maybe uses a hologlyph to get someone to be confused. And of course, if we were using, you know, the proper, let's encrypt, if that last little piece was working, then this would actually have a lock on it and they wouldn't have to accept the risk to continue. But we're in developer mode right now. And so now you see that they're going into a rather convincing Instagram. And I mean, it's rather convincing. I mean, there is a slight difference to kind of throw you off, but literally pixel for pixel in the footer, pixel for pixel quality, all of it is exactly the same. And so if 1337 hacker rolls around and wants to log in, it doesn't work, right? So you know, I think that I want to put in a real credential to see what happens. But I'm afraid that I'm going to share that credential live. But fuck it, why not? I know how to control this. I don't even know my password to this, I don't think. Nope, I don't. Does LastPass? LastPass does not. Maybe I do know it. Maybe this password is hidden from self. I have no idea. But you kind of get the idea. Like if this was a phishing page, in which it is, you'd see a whole bunch of attempts of people trying, I don't know, the one or four passwords that they do have, because like I'm out of passwords. The rest of my passwords, I'm very religious about my password security, and I put all of that shit into LastPass. So let's see. All right, so I'm checking out more fish lists, but yeah, you guys kind of get the gist of this. This is a really quick and dirty, easy way to be able to get some credentials. Use this as you may. Be nice, of course. Use it on engagement. Don't go out and be an asshole about it, right? But you know, like it's kind of bringing awareness to the fact that, you know, sometimes people can use things in evil ways, right? Like I know I can do a, I think they're called a homoglyph attack, basically. And what a homoglyph attack is here, give me 1 second. It is a way in which a malicious party may deceive computer users about what the remote system they are communicating with by exploiting the fact that many characters look alike. They are homoglyphs, hence the farm for the attack. Although technically homoglyph is the term for the attack, excuse me. Although technically homoglyph is more accurate term for different characters that look alike. So basically, you know, you can, here, let me try and get a demonstration. I'm pretty sure they have one. Oh, wow, I guess not. Homoglyph basically is a way where you can show what looks like the exact same URL, but actually characters that are different. So how do I gotta get an example of it now. There you go. Iron Geek coming through again. All right, so I can go in and say I want to put this my LinkedIn thing in here, and now I have a way to be able to change this to be any number of characters that may be represented differently, right? And some of these are set by default, and I can set these. I can go through here and come up with a way in which maybe it's a a small dot that somebody doesn't see, or a small circle, or another small type of dot. These are ways for us to be able to trick users into not realizing that this says my LinkedIn red team apparel versus just linkedin.com, right? So and that's what it really comes down to, like deceiving the user's perceptions, making them feel like there's no way that says that. Like, I know for fact that thing said Instagram, right? And then when you take this to the mobile perspective, it gets even more scary. So beware. Look at the forums that you interact with on a day-to-day, and make sure that they are the forums that you think that you're interacting with. And think about this, right? I didn't even demonstrate the two-factor authentication portion of this, simply because I don't really keep up with my passwords, and I want to play with this in some shape or fashion later and figure out exactly how it works, right? I don't know if it'll actually take my credentials, pass them along, and validate that they work, and then get me that cookie back. I want to see how that works. But here, let me see. Actually, I may have an opportunity. I may have one. Let's try. Trying. Oh, maybe Twitter. I think. Okay, here. I'll try this. I'll try a Twitter one. All right, so now let's try and do this. Whoops. Keywords 2. Here we go. Copy. Advance. And one thing that actually is the code smell for me. Oh wow, I guess Twitter is upset right now. I'm not 100% sure why. But one thing that is the code smell for me, and what throws the entire thing off, is the fact that I have nothing in my LastPass that's popping up to help me fill in those forms, right? So most of the time when I land on a site that I trust and know, there's some kind of form field that pops up, right? Like if I go to LinkedIn and, well, let's go to LinkedIn in a personal tab, right? So you see how this has a something for me to be able to know that I'm at LinkedIn. It uses the root domain URL to actually know how to fill in the form. Well, when I go over to my lure and I go to that, and of course getting around this, the second way that I would know is the fact that, okay, I might not know that LinkedIn has a different page, right? Because I stay logged in so often, but I don't have a way for me to be able to automatically fill in my credentials here, right? And so that ends up being a huge, let's see, I'm curious as to if they will pass my credentials along. That login attempt seems suspicious. To finish sign in, please enter the verification code we sent to your email address. So now, seems like a suspicious email. They're making me fill out a 2FA now. So I'm refreshing my email. Let's see if I get anything. Nothing so far. Sometimes this stuff is slow. Nothing. So let's try and resend to all emails. We've sent you another code. Now, mind you, this is not LinkedIn. This is Red Team Apparel, all right? So I'm curious as to see how this is actually working. I have to dig into this further because maybe with just a little bit of love, it'll actually go out and make that call for you and push that nudge to say, hey, now go and fetch that token for me and pump it into here, right? But as of right now, it's not doing that, which is kind of good, all right? Like, we don't want it to be super easy for anybody to grab this off the shelf and just run with it. But I believe that with a little bit of work, especially knowing that it's in Golang, this will be extremely, easy. I still haven't gotten it just yet, and that's fine. Oh, wait. I got one. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to Google, which means that effectively I've logged in. Now on the screen over here, which it's got real life sensitive information on it, so I cannot show it to you. It's showing me the password that I have set, and it tells me that all authorization tokens were intercepted. And I believe it because it redirected me to Google. And if it redirected me to LinkedIn, let's be clear, I'm logged in. So it would feel extremely natural that happened, right? And if I go to sessions, it is some captured. So if I want to see, how do I look at a particular, here we go. I can get the cookie, the session cookie, by going to sessions ID, which is 4. And yes, I have my cookie right here. And yep. So this still works. And if you want to follow along, I'm going to actually do a blog about this where I show you piece by piece exactly what I had to do. Excuse my bullshit handwriting, but exactly what I had to do. I took notes and screenshots. I'm going to actually release this out to show you how to set this up on your own environment, walk you through all the different DNS configurations and the gotchas that I had to run into. And then hopefully you can actually show this to your parents or show this to your boss or show this to your spouse and explain to them exactly what the importance of making sure that they always have multi-factor authentication, 2FA, but then also knowing that that's not the end all be all, and that they need to stay vigilant at the end of the day and make sure that they're clicking on links that they trust and looking at URLs before they put in secrets, because they're just one email enter away from getting their account compromised. I just saw my credentials fly across the screen. I saw my session cookie right there. I'm pretty sure I could replay that with edit this cookie. So, I definitely want to, bring this to your attention, let you know about having a little bit of fun with that. So Kane says, if someone used the code from an authenticator, would it just pass it through? No, it wouldn't pass it through. Oh, you mean like would it actually take that token and pass it to LinkedIn? It seems so. It seems that it actually takes that token and passes it along. So if we dig into the code here, because I love digging into code. So it looks like there's a proxy, right? And this proxy seems to be able to do things. I want to have to dig into this a little bit more, but it looks like it can pass things and handle requests from on your behalf, right? So it can actually go and request those queries and pass those tokens over. It's probably just reverse engineering the API and or manipulating the DOM, right? So yeah, it's definitely taking that token that LinkedIn emailed me and passing that along to LinkedIn. Yo, what's going on, Zachary Stewart? What's happening? Yeah, the two Zach says the verification texts for 2FA are good, but I noticed that they can stay around for way too long. 5 hours is the record. Wow, yeah, that's a pretty long time. And you know what? They think that they're doing you a favor. They don't think about people actually getting their hands on those tokens. So yeah, staying vigilant as a developer and making sure that you don't do the simple small mistakes. Even though that's a pretty big mistake to make. So matter of fact, Tom actually told me about this thing earlier today. That is something called CallStranger. And while I got you out here, I figured why not talk about it? Because CallStranger, for one, is such an interesting name, and two, it's a reflected amplified TCP DDoS and port scan via UPnP. And I'll tell you what. There's a lot of things that run on UPnP, including my office lights. There is just a whole lot of things. Last time we checked, there was 5.4 million devices. This is at the same level of RDP, right? If you watch how they got hacked, you know that there's 5.4 million RDP instances out there. This is pretty scary stuff. Of course, there's a timeline that lets you know exactly how it works. You can check to see if you're vulnerable. Of course, ISPs are trying to block this, but in reality, it's UPnP. So we'll see if they can block the control and event ports. We don't really know that they'll be able to do that without actually blocking legitimate uses for it. This could create a headache in other ways. So at the end of the day, like, you should really be segmenting unsecured PnP devices into its own network, making sure that they never are able to go out into the DMZ. Make sure that you can disable the UPnP services on anything such as printers or routers. These are just like some quick and easy ways to be able to make sure that you can stay from getting pwned, right? Blocking all notify packets, blocking all subscribe packets, checking the logs of anybody trying to use the vulnerability and reporting them. Then also having some kind of DDoS protection is probably warranted. So just make sure that if you got things out on the internet that run UPnP, just take them off. That's my my news tip of the week. And yeah, so that's all I really have for you guys and gals. It's been super fun. What else is new? Somebody meet me in the chat. Hit that like and subscribe. Ring that bell. Go watch some other videos. Just turn them on and walk away. I need that playtime. You get what I'm saying? Justin, what's up, bro? Justin Bryan. Bryan. I don't know how to say names. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible person. I just don't know how to say names. Oh, so this Wednesday, tomorrow, if you are open, please go to mysec.us and you will see that we have an event in Detroit tomorrow, virtual event, of course, and it's going to be over Zoom, and we're doing a hardware hacking panel. It's going to be me, my bro, No Space, and one of my bros, Justin Monteblano, and he is actually a well-known hardware hacker. California says, did you order your key crock yet? Nope. I'm going to, though. It's definitely coming up soon. So yeah, please, if you get a chance, come check out mysec.us. Go to the events. If you want to join and you want to know how to join, oh, that's a badass name, Justin Byrne. Yeah, I like that. That's badass. That's a badass last name. If you want to join, there's a way. So what you do is up here in the upper right hand corner, there is a Slack button. You click that Slack button and that'll take you over here to the Heroku app. This you enter your email address into, and then you get an invite to be able to join the Slack. The Slack is where we have all of the fun. So please join. Come check out the Detroit channel. Check out the random channel. Please and involve yourself in other chapters such as the Southfield chapter, the Jackson chapter. We have an Ann Arbor chapter. So it doesn't just have to be Detroit. It's all over Michigan. And right now with the pandemic and the quarantine, it's all over. It's global, right? So please come by if you can. Also, we got DC 313, which is collaborating with MySec this month for this Wednesday. So please, if you could do me the favor of showing up and enjoying some company, we would love to have you. What you drinking? Kane says it's some really strong stuff. It's called Huma Lupalicious. It's an IPA, and it's at 7.7%. It's the good stuff. It's I'm not complaining. But yeah, it's been super fun. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I'm about to go and probably play video games. It's what I do after I get off of this. Speaking of video games, if you are interested in gaming with me, please check out the again in MySec on Fridays we have game night. So after How They Got Hacked, I'll probably be reminding you. And if you don't watch How They Got Hacked, please go check out hashtag How They Got Hacked. Go to howtheyGotHacked.com. Go ahead and go over to How They Got Hacked on YouTube. We got plenty of content for you. And if you haven't, sub there. Also sub over at Tom Lawrence Tech. That's my bro. He's always showing you how to stay safe with firewalls and that type of stuff as well. Ethical says Call of Duty. Yes, we have some Call of Duty players. We have some Valorant players. We have some Gears players. Lately, I've been playing a game called Dead Side. So, yeah, come on by, game with us. I love to play video games when I'm not working. That's my hobby. That's the way I blow off steam. So, for sure. And shout out to all of you for joining. I appreciate you. Nothing without you. So definitely excited. California says, is it going to happen this Friday? Yes, every Friday. This Friday and every Friday. Please come by if you want to. Again, I'll show this one more time. If you want to join the MySec community, go to mysec.herokuapp.com. That's mysec.herokuapp.com. Or you can go over to mysec.us. That's where you can keep up with all of the different events that we got going on, as well as clicking this Slack button up here in the upper right hand corner. That'll get you over to that Heroku app so that you can join. Also, if you scroll down, you can find another one of those Slack buttons for you. So come hang out with me. We'll definitely we'll drink and talk some shit. California says, bring Mo with you. Mo is actually in Detroit. I saw him just yesterday. He's doing good. He said that he was going to be joining, so I'm going to pressure him. I'm going to tell him to come. I'm going to have Mo. If you don't know Mo, he's one of my good friends. He my co-host on How They Got Hacked, so please go check out How They Got Hacked. Also, follow me on Instagram at Xavier_Johnson. Follow me on Twitter at Infinite, INFENET. And this has been Tools Tuesday. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you use it for good.